Hello friends, welcome to Study Center. And in this video, if any one of you are confused, I have not studied and just they are schooling for these topics, then this video is completely perfect for you. If you will watch the video till the end, you will get the complete understanding on the effect of pressure on the states of matter, what is the process of evaporation, on what factors it depend, and how the temperature is converted from Kelvin to degree Celsius and from degree Celsius to Kelvin also. In the last videos, I have already discussed about what is the effect of temperature on the states of matter and why temperature is affecting because of the process of interconverting of states of matter. So, states of matter can be interconverted. They can be interconverted. And which are the two factors that can interconvert? The two factors are temperature and pressure. So, how it converts from temperature I have discussed in last video and the link is given in description box. Here we are going to learn about the pressure, how pressure affects on the states of matter. So one important thing that you have to already remind that on the gaseous particles the effect of pressure is the most, because on the liquid and solid the small two particles, constituent particles, are very tightly bound. The intermolecular attraction force is much greater than the applied pressure. That's why the much negligible effect is seen on the liquid and solid. But on gaseous, in the gaseous particles are very loosely bound, their intermolecular force is also weak. That's why the pressure is affected on gas the most and the maximum amount. Now what can affect, how the pressure can affect? So by applying pressure, particles of matter can be brought closer. Definitely if something is very flexible, if the particles are loosely bound, then if you will apply pressure, what will happen? The particles will come closer. If you will apply pressure means what? You are compressing the gas. I have already studied about, I have already previously told you and you have studied that how gases are compressible. Their property I have already told you, the gases are compressible and the compressible factor is the pressure. How gases can be compressible? They can be compressed by pressure. When we apply pressure, they can be compressed, they can be filled up in the small cylinder, small thing in which the volume is very low, and they can be footed in the small volume, they can accommodate in small volume by the applying pressure. And what happened next thing, by applying pressure and reducing temperature, these are two factors. The gas can be liquefied, means a gaseous thing is converting into liquid. What is happening? Gases is converting into liquid. On what? By applying pressure and reducing temperature. So it is the combination of both the two factors. Next, solid CO2. Solid CO2 also called dry ice. Why it is called dry ice? Because the gaseous CO2 when kept under high pressure. We keep the gaseous CO2 under high pressure, and at that time when the effect occurs, that is called the solid CO2. And when we again reduce the pressure, means 1 atmosphere, here we are putting the 1 atmospheric pressure, and again that solid CO2 is being converted to gas. So here which type of conversion you are saying? Here solid is being converted to gaseous, and in this thing what you saw here, liquid got converted to, not liquid, here gas got converted to liquid. Gas was liquefied in this case, and the second case you can see that solid is being converted to gaseous state. So now you must be clear that how the pressure can affect the states of matter. Now I hope states of converting of states of matter is completely clear. Now coming to the next topic, evaporation. What is evaporation? Phenomena of change of any liquid into vapors at any temperature, especially below its boiling point. The most important thing is below its boiling point. What is boiling point? Boiling point is the point at which, at certain temperature, at which the liquid is getting converted to water vapor. It is converted to gaseous state. That point temperature is called boiling point. So I have already defined this boiling point in the last videos. So here that is called evaporation, in which the liquid is converting to boiling point without reaching the boiling point. It is converting to gaseous state without reaching the boiling point. Now what are the factors that affect evaporation? The most important first factor is surface area. How surface area affects? What does it mean of surface area affect the evaporation? Now suppose if you are taking a big bowl and you have kept the water in this, any liquid, not only water, you can take any liquid. The liquid is kept in this bowl, and comparatively if you will take a small glass a small glass, and in that glass you will keep some liquid. So in presence of heat or sunlight, what will happen? The evaporation of this ball will happen fast and it will become slow. Why? Because the surface area of bowl, this is the surface area, and this surface area of bowl comparatively from glass is very much larger. Okay, this is larger and it is the smaller surface area. That's why what happens, evaporation in this ball will happen fastly, and that is called the factor. And how it affects the evaporation means, if we have the larger surface area, then it will be evaporated faster, and if we have smaller surface area, it will evaporated slower than that. And next fact is temperature. Normally on temperature it depends. Higher the temperature, higher the evaporation, faster the evaporation. Third point is humidity. Humidity is the moisture. Moisture means simply you can say water vapors. Humidity is definitely called the water vapors present in atmosphere. The water present in atmosphere, that is called humidity, and it also affects on humidity. And the fourth and last is the wind speed. It depends on wind speed also. According to the wind speed in the atmosphere, the evaporation can be slowed down or it can be become faster also. Now you must have heard that evaporation causes cooling. So what is the reason of that evaporation causes cooling? So here that reason will be completely clear for you. The liquid requires heat energy. This all you know. The evaporation needs a heat energy. When we apply heat energy to the liquid, it will be converted to the gaseous vapors. And what happened the next step? On evaporating, the energy is taken away by the molecules, converting from liquid to gas. So whatever heat energy we are applying, the heat energy that we are applying to a liquid, heat energy applying to liquid, that molecules which are being converted from liquid to gas, that will take away that heat energy. So what happen, if we will take out the heat energy from somewhere and put it outside, then what will happen? That area from where we put out the heat energy will become cool, right? And that's why, that is the reason the original surface becomes cool, because the heat energy is taken away by the gaseous molecules. The gaseous molecules take away the heat energy which is supplied. Now let me try to make this concept crystal clear for you. Let us take an example. Here we have cotton cloth. Cotton cloth, you must have heard that in summer our parents and most of the people prefer to wear a cotton cloth during summers. During summer we prefer to wear a cotton clothes. But why it happens? Why we say that it will not be more sweating in cotton cloth? Because the sweat will be absorbed very fastly. And why it absorbed? Because in the cotton cloth what happens, small pores are there, small pores, and due to which our the sweat will be evaporated. That's why the easy evaporation will take place, and that is the reason why we refer the cotton clothes to be worn in the summer. So the reason is easy evaporation. Evaporation is very easily happening in the cotton clothes just because of these small pores. Next example is the mud pot and the steel pot. This also you must have heard about. When if you are living in villages or maybe in the cities also, now it is available. We prefer to drink water from the mud pot instead of refrigerator. We say that mud pot water is more healthier. But why? It is healthier definitely because there is no chemical thing. But why it is cooler? Just because of evaporation. The reason is again evaporation. How evaporation happens in pot? Because this pot is made up of mud, and this mud, because of this, the holes are there in the pot. There are small holes in this pot, and due to which the evaporation is occurring. And due to that evaporation, you know that evaporation causes cooling. So if evaporation will take place, the original surface means our mud pot, the mud water, that will be cooler. And if you compare this same with the steel pot, then the steel is a metal, it has no holes, and then hence there will be no evaporation in this steel pot, and that's why this water will remain hot. Now let us summarize what we have studied until now. Interconvertible of states of matter, interconversion of states of matter. Till now we have completed this topic, and how it is interconverted. It is the solid, it is gaseous state, and it is liquid state. So what is happening? Solid and liquid can be interconverted by melting and freezing. These are the small processes. And liquid to gas can be interconverted by condensation and evaporation. And gaseous to solid can be interconverted by sublimation and deposition. So they are the some processes from which the states of matter can be interconverted. Now we have the next topic, conversion of temperature units. Now basically, what are the units of temperature? The units of temperature are Kelvin and Celsius. Kelvin is the basic unit. Most of the time in our daily use, we use this unit of temperature as Celsius. But Celsius is a daily used unit, but universally scientifically accepted unit is Kelvin, as it is called SI unit. I have already, maybe previously I have discussed about this SI units. SI units are the units which are universally accepted. Everyone in the world is well known. If you are putting up a scientific research, then Kelvin is the basic temperature which is universally accepted. Every region has different things, so how can we communicate with each other with different things? So our international organization is there, which has created some units that are universally accepted, so that the export import of things and which will become easy with the SI units. And hence this Kelvin is our SI unit, and we use it as like SI unit, main unit. But Celsius is the unit that you use in the daily life. It is a basic conversion that you have to remind anyhow. So 0 degree Celsius is equals to 273.16 Kelvin. It is not degree Celsius, it is Kelvin, and which is equals to 273 Kelvin. So it is 273.16, and we are approximating it for our convenience, for our calculation, as 273 Kelvin. Now if you want to do some numericals, you will given an examination, you have given a temperature in Kelvin and you have to convert it into degree Celsius. Then what will you do? जो आपको टेम्परेचर दिया है उसको केल्विन में अगर गिवन है और वी हैव टू कन्वर्ट इन डिग्री सेल्सियस, देन व्हाट विल यू डू? गिवन टेम्परेचर माइनस 273, जो टेम्परेचर है उसको 273 से माइनस करना है, एंड देन यू विल गेट द आंसर इन डिग्री सेल्सियस. Similarly, vice versa, if you temperature is given in degree Celsius and you have to convert in Kelvin, then you have to do plus 273. With the given temperature you have to add 273, and so the answer would you get is in Kelvin. So it is the basic converting units that you have to remind anyhow, because they are going to used in the further classes also, and in this class also you must know these things. Now let us to try to understand with this some examples. First one, temperature is given in for 470 Kelvin and you have to convert it into degree Celsius. What will you do? Degree Celsius में convert करना है, मतलब minus 273. So simple, 470 minus 273, answer is 197 degree Celsius. Simple. Temperature is again here given in 25 degree Celsius and you have to convert in Kelvin. So in Kelvin you have to do plus 273. So 225 plus 273, answer is 298 Kelvin. If the temperature is 300 Kelvin, you have to convert in degree Celsius. Degree Celsius means what? Minus 273, and 300 minus 273, answer is 27 degree Celsius. Similarly, 7 degree Celsius is given. You have to convert in Kelvin. Kelvin means what? Plus 273, right? Plus, so you will get the answer as 280 Kelvin. I hope it is a very simple thing. Try to practice the random temperatures you take and try to practice at home, so well you will be master in these things. So here I am giving you a homework that you have to put in the comment box this answer. So you have to convert this 100 Kelvin temperature into degree Celsius. Temperature is 100 Kelvin and you have to convert it in degree Celsius. इसको degree Celsius में convert करना है. You have to write it in the comment box. So I want this answer in the comment box, anyone if you have know. Thank you for watching this video, and please like, share and subscribe if you feel that it is useful, and please share it to all the useful students who can take the advantage of this such videos.